This is Koreascape on TBS EFM 101.3 megahertz in Seoul and surrounding areas. Tourism is a big deal nowadays, whether it's our own personal trip plans or whether it's the macroeconomic effect of more and more tourists in these slow economic times. So, we like to save a little time on Fridays for talking tourism with our very own professional tourist, Jimin Yoon. Jimin, welcome to the studio once again.
Thank you. Hello.
All right, so we're talking about some themes in tourism and in the tourism industry. What about today?
Today, as we approach to summer, I would like to talk about leisure activities we can enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So when we travel, activities are about what we do. After deciding where to go and how to go,
Mm-hmm.
what to do takes a big part of our travel. And summer is the most active season, and people travel to enjoy a lot of activities such as surfing, scuba diving, water skiing, and so on. So
You're talking about a very robust attitude towards travel. Usually when it gets hot, some people just want to lay on the beach and bake like cornbread.
are you the type of person?
You're a very, half and half. You're talking about a very sporty kind of traveler. I guess, depends what you want to do when you're at leisure, but some people do like to get active. So how does that affect people's decision when it comes to booking travel?
So especially about the sporting activity that we're talking about today, it sometimes affects people's decision on where to go because it sometimes for some people it takes a big part for their travel itinerary.
Sure.
So what to do at travel destination is a very important factor.
Usually in summer, we're talking, like you just said, surfing, scuba diving. These sound like beach and tropical destinations.
And most of the destinations, as you said, known for the water activities are summer destinations like Southeast Asia, the South Pacific, the Caribbean, and so on.
Although the high season for a lot of those places tends to be in the northern hemisphere winter, right? When it's freezing cold, that's when you want to get down to Southeast Asia.
And the good thing about summer season, summer destinations is that not only the water or a beach activities, but also other a mountaineering or zip line. Those kind of activities are also popular. But in winter, you cannot really go out in the beach or do many things. But summer, you can do anything.
You can do anything you want.
The weather, yeah.
Are you a scuba diver?
Yes, I am.
You have one of those certificates? You can free dive by yourself, that kind of thing? I'm almost there. I've almost completed mine, but I've never completed it yet. Where do you like to dive?
Well, I started my diving in Philippines, Cebu. I got my open water license there, and I got my second license, which is an advanced diver, in Mexico.
Nice.
So I want to share my scuba diving experience in Mexico because it was very unique. I did scuba diving in Mexico cenotes. So the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico has numerous cenotes. So cenotes are natural swimming holes formed by the collapse of the limestone bedrock.
I didn't know that word, cenotes. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's from the Mayan word. So
Mayan word.
In the Mayan word, the definition of cenote is the well. So it's just like the hole in...
A swimming hole, basically. Yeah.
So it's very unique in the Yucatan area. But some of them are filled with the fresh groundwater and some of them are filled with the seawater because some of the holes are near the shore area.
Sure. A natural little aquarium that doesn't swap out too much.
Yeah. So although those cenotes are great places to just go for snorkeling and swimming, special activity you can enjoy as a scuba diving, definitely. So as scuba diving and cenotes provide you unique experience, it's totally different from scuba diving in the ocean. So there are many divers coming from different parts of the world. The cave diving is very popular in this area too.
Wow.
So the most memorable dive I have done is at the cenote Angelita in Tulum area in Mexico. It is an open cenote, which upper part is filled with the fresh water and the bottom part is the seawater. And as we all learn in the science class, the fresh water and the seawater doesn't really mix well. So they have these layers between those two.
The salt water is heavier and it sinks down, right?
So it's in the bottom, and as it's an open cenote, there are trees collapsed inside the hole. So at the bottom they have all the trees inside, and as they decay, they have all this impurities coming out, and they form the layer between the fresh water and the seawater.
Oh, how interesting.
So they form the cloud inside the water, and the trees are coming out from the cloud. So as you scuba dive inside the cenote, you could see very magical scene in front of you.
Looks like trees growing out of clouds.
Yes,
That
inside the
sounds
water.
amazing. In underwater trees
Yeah.
growing out of clouds.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it was like the most memorable scuba dive I have ever done. I've dived like for 14 times now.
That sounds gorgeous. I really do look forward to getting that full certificate on for myself. I did do one time just a little snorkeling in Barbados. I was there for a wedding, and without even scuba gear, just with a snorkel and a mask, just off the beach. Beautiful sort of Finding Nemo kind of tropical fish swimming around. It was absolutely gorgeous. Not the kind of thing you can necessarily encounter here in Korea, but what kind of summer stuff can you do here in Korea?
Well, you can go surfing in Korea. Yangyang and Gangneung area are best known cities for surfing. It's in the East Sea area. I went to surfing in Gangneung early May, so
Not too cold?
The water temperature was cold, but as you wear the thick wetsuit for the surfing, it was okay.
All
It
right.
was okay, and when I was there on the day, the waves were not like tough enough to like learn surfing, but it was just fun to experience because I've never surfed before, so it was
Yeah.
really fun.
Just kind of the right balance between being strong enough to propel you, but they're not like those gigantic sort of wall of water waves like you might find in Hawaii or someplace like that.
Yeah, but it depends on the weather, I heard, but sometimes you could see like relatively higher waves, but as you said, they like compared to Hawaii or Australia, they would have like a bigger waves.
Like what do they
definitely,
call it? The tubes. You know,
Yeah.
you're surfing inside the tube. I've heard some friends have gone surfing at Jeju.
Yeah, Jeju is also a great place to go for surfing. Jungmun Beach and Woljeong Beach are popular for surfing, and you can go find many surf shops there.
And how's the diving here in Korea?
Scuba diving, you can have a relatively clear vision in the east area of Korea Peninsula, like compared to the West Sea, because it's the murkiest sea that we have. But still, the East Sea it's murkier than other tropical region seas. But diving in the East Sea is very unique and very different from other diving spots in the tropical region. It makes the area more I think attractive for the technical divers who want to experience the unique current and unique marine life that we have here.
Yeah, so it's not just like swimming around in a tropical fish tank. There's lots of phenomena going on that a diver has to react to down there.
Yeah, for the divers, if you have dived in the East Sea, you can go dive anywhere else in the world. Because
Okay,
it's one of
that's
the
an
hardest
interesting
spots that you
tidbit.
can go
Yeah, so it's a
dive.
challenging environment.
Yes.
I see people water skiing in the Hangang fairly often. Not something I personally would choose to do, given what I suspect is the Hangang water composition. But there's good water skiing all around Korea, and it's popular.
Well, Hangang is like one of the biggest river that we have. So when you go to Gapyeong or Cheongpyeong area, they are also known for the wakeboarding and water skiing activities. Those areas having a beautiful river and the big reservoirs, so that you can go enjoy the summer sporting activity. Not only the wakeboarding or water skiing, but for children and families, they could go banana boating and other easier water activities that you can go and enjoy.
Banana boating is cool.
Yeah,
That's
it
fun
is.
if you've got a bunch of people.
Uh-huh.
See who gets thrown off first. What if you're not necessarily in a position to travel all around the peninsula and go to the East Sea or Jeju and so forth? If you're kind of confined to Seoul, what kind of things can you enjoy?
Well, we can find the biggest river in Korea too, Han River, that flows right in the city. It's also good for the water activities.
Yeah.
There's a water sports shop at Chamon Hangang Park where you can go enjoy wakeboarding and water skiing. If you don't have enough time to go to Gapyeong or Cheongpyeong, you can just go to the Hangang Park and do the leisure boating and wakeboarding, water skiing, and everything.
Yeah, good for some people. The reason I said I probably wouldn't do it because I'd be face down in the water most of the time, knowing my wakeboarding skills. Anything we can do to maximize our enjoyment of water activities during this season?
Well, activities are I think it's just a way to enjoy the environment. It can be a cause or purpose of choosing the destination, but to attract more visitors, the activity cannot be the sole reason for the travel, I think.
So there should be something other than
Sure.
just the activity to do.
In order to make those visitors to stay longer and to feel attached to Korea as a destination, there should be more than just activities. So as I mentioned about scuba diving in Mexico, I remember that experience because it was unique in Mexico. So we need to find what is unique about Korea and what we can do here can provide the unique experiences for visitors.
Yeah, in Mexico, you said they have those cenotes, those natural sort of limestone pools where you can scuba dive. Here in Korea, you said the East Sea provided a uniquely challenging environment for technical divers. But then there's not, inherently in scuba diving and in wakeboarding in Korea, there's not a unique selling proposition the way there is maybe somewhere else. That's where I think you can infuse some kind of culture on the edges of the activity. Maybe there's some kind of unique food or drink experience that people can have, or some kind of cultural experience.
Yeah, that is true. It's very important to let them enjoy more than the activities like culture and food, as you mentioned. When I was surfing in Gangneung, what I really enjoyed was the Korean barbecue. I enjoyed that more than surfing, because doing a barbecue after surfing is really, really nice. So
yeah,
those kind of experience that we can provide for the other visitors too.
In winter skiing in Korea, I know that winter skiing in Korea is really good because it's by price it's competitive to Japan and to most other local destinations. So Korea does have a unique selling point there. And then in the winter, the après ski culture is fantastic with hot food and drinks and alcohol, things like that. Indoor winter culture in Korea is nice. I guess it's a question of building an après dive culture here, where you said barbecue, maybe there's some other stuff. Take advantage of the natural landscape, maybe do a little bit of hiking in between your dives, that sort of thing. So there's all kinds of ideas for tourism planners and ways to attract people to Korea, even if the diving or the wakeboarding isn't the prime attraction. I guess maybe the whole basket of attractions could draw international tourists here. And be satisfactory also to the domestic audience too. Yeah, this is the kind of thing you do. I mean, you're going all around Korea advising people on this, so I guess I don't need to tell you that.
I need to look for those unique spots in Korea.
Yeah, and Koreans themselves are incredibly active people in terms of sports and outdoor activities.
Yeah, especially hiking. We do have a lot of mountains, and a lot of people, also like the older generations, they can enjoy the Korean mountains by hiking. So it is also one of the biggest activities that you can go enjoy in summer, and not even summer, it's all different for the four seasons. So.
And whether it's hiking or biking or scuba diving or surfing, Koreans, when they decide to take something up, they decide to go at it 100% with all of the accessories, all of the outfits. They're the best dressed of any sporting population in the world. That'll bring us to the close of Talking Tourism. Jimin, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And Koreascape resumes right after this.